The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I have to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Oh, boy.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. My co-host today, straight out of Pound Town, Mr. Kevin DeMichiel. What's up, Kev?
What's going on? How are you?
Good, man. Now, listen, most of the time I'm trying to drag you off a boat to get you on the phone, and I know you and Bill ain't out fishing in this cold weather, so are you slaying any ducks, or what are you doing?
Well, you know, Bill's down there in sunny Florida living it up, and I'm up here in the freezing cold trying to get ready for a tournament we're having this weekend. So Bill's got the good end of the stick right now.
But did you get to do any hunting so far?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Probably more than I should have. But, yeah, I mean, I got to take my daughter on a deer hunt. She killed a really big deer. I probably hunted 30 days, close to 30 days in Arkansas. It started off really, really hot. I mean, bird-wise, and then toward the end, I don't know, either they're all dead or they all left. I don't know what to say. But there wasn't many left, let's put it that way.
You packed too much ammo, Kevin. You killed them all.
Yeah, always.
So, I mean, we're going to get into all the stuff you're doing here lately. Are you doing any winter training at all?
What, shooting-wise?
Yeah, for yourself.
That's about the last thing on the list right now. I've got a lot of things cooking right now. You know, obviously I've had a gun in my hand since nationals a lot, but, you know, it's been shooting at feathers instead of clay targets. I've literally shot since nationals. I shot, 7 boxes of shells at the beginning of this week on some birds we set.
Really?
And I'll probably shoot a couple more times before Jack Links, but, you know, it is what it is. I hadn't forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just one thing after the other. There's constantly something to do or the phone's ringing or you know how it is. You just get busy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of busy, are you staying busy with your lessons and teaching and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, this time of year, you know, obviously it's all dependent on the weather. If we get pretty days, you know, the lessons are pretty stacked up. But when it's days like, you know, today, I mean, I'm thinking highs 35, 40 here with the wind blowing and there ain't, you know, ain't much going on. So, if it's not doing lessons, I'm here working on something. You know, we took over ownership of the Meadows this year, and my role as general manager, we hired my cousin as the target setter. But really, truthfully, the both of us set the targets, and we gel pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone, no tourney talk this week, although I will remind you, because I'm biased, that the two Dead Pair Blasts are both live on Score Chaser. Another thing, too, on the whole East versus West, that's for bragging rights, okay? I've been hearing a lot of rumors about the guys in California not wanting to sign up because they thought that they had to compete against the scores on the East Coast or vice versa. Each tournament, the one at LA Clays and the one at Rocky Creek, are independent of each other. They're paid independently. If you're going, if you're in B class and you're going to LA Clays to compete, you're playing against the guys that are there that weekend for that tournament in your class. Okay. The back to class money, the payouts, all the prizes, everything are independent from tournament to tournament. East versus West is just bragging rights. We did talk about a $20 option, that you could play. If everybody played that option, that money would hold to the end of the East Coast round, and then it would be paid out class versus class. But that's just an option. The whole East versus West thing is just bragging rights. That's all it is. So keep that in mind. I know we've had some people a little hesitant to sign up, but no worries. Each tournament is independent of each other. Hey, a real quick reminder, the dates are winding down. We need to get all the final entries for the Neil Chadwick Jr. entry contest into the World Sporting. It's coming to San Antonio. Now, if you're not familiar with that contest and what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the year-end review with Neil Chadwick, episode 237. Neil Chadwick's putting up money for a junior shooter. It's a real simple contest, real easy to do, but just follow the instructions. Get those sent in to me because Neil's going to be picking a winner here soon. And now, Kevin, Your Shooters Championship is live on Score Chaser, and I want to dive into that for a minute. Remind everyone the dates of that shoot.
Okay. The dates of that shoot are May 26th through the 31st.
Okay, and you still got some spots left, right? I mean,
we do.
Still,
so last year it was a 2-day shoot, and we filled it up in a hurry, right? So we can hold 660 on a 2-day shoot, and you really don't want to go anymore, or it's just a big traffic jam. So This year we turned it into a 3-day where we can accommodate more people. As of this morning, we've got 615 signed up. I think the difference is now people see that there's openings so they can wait a little bit. And I completely understand, because all these deposits that go out, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but our deposit deal is pretty low. I think it's 150 for, if you shoot feed task in the main or something like that. Yeah. So the deposits aren't going to cripple you up, but I get it. I mean, it's a lot when you start regionals, U.S. Open, national, state shoots. It's a lot to put out. But yeah, we've got plenty of room. Yeah.
Chad's talked about that numerous times. It's, if you're somebody that wants to chase the circuit and the big blast shoots and all that, man, you can have several $1,000s out just in deposits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some of these places are pretty, I mean, I don't know. It's not going to be $150 deposit. It might be a $500 deposit,
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially if you got to, include golf carts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the big allures of this shoot is obviously the payout. I mean, you guys are paying a horrendous purse.
Yeah, it's huge. The whole deal with the name of the shooters is to give back to the shooters. And, to be honest with you, we had a 2-day pack shoot last year, but we weren't trying to get rich off of it. So We're doing this for the shooters. That's why we want everybody to come, everybody have a good time. We're going to make it a fun atmosphere. We put all the decoys out and, make it fun. And we're going to add some new cool stuff this year. Yeah, I'm not even going to say what I got in mind, but it's pretty funny. But anyway, got a few things in mind on that. I mean, heck, just in the main event, we're giving away 130. Is actually the number is 130,750 just in the main event. Across the whole board is $200,000 guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many spots back are you paying in each class? Not just the overall and the runner up, but like in each class.
Right. So we'll take master, for instance. So your high overall, $7,000, your runner up, $6,000. And this is the main event, and then we pay 5 deep. So first in class, all the way to D is $5,500, $2,500, $1,500, $1,000, and then $500.
That's incredible.
Now, also on top of that, we have class concurrent. So let's just say you've got a lady that's in D class. Well, she's shooting for her first in class for $5,500, but if she's high lady in that class, she also wins another $1,000. So the in-class concurrents, first, second, and third, are $1,500 and $225.
Wow!
So there's a lot of ways to win your money back here for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
My goodness, man,
Yeah.
That's I mean, okay, so I guess if you want to compare it to another shoot, you can compare it to Jack Links. They may have
Correct.
more. They may have more overall purse, but your purse is, how do I want to say it? It's higher, but doesn't pay back as many spots, so it's like more per capita, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So you got the chance to hit a lick. I mean, like even in our side events like Super Sporting, it's 1,005 and 250, something like that.
Yeah.
1,500 and 1,250. But also talking about Super Sport, in the Super Sport event, if you are signed up, okay, if you sign up for the Super Sporting event, you're going to get a ticket. When you get that ticket, you can go to the Manly Trailer tent, put your ticket in there, and you're in the drawing for an $18,000 sporting clay trailer already rigged out. All you got to do is pull your buggy inside of it.
Are
so
you
that's pretty
serious?
Cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's really cool, dude. No,
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody offering anything like that before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the whole idea is, they sponsor the event and they, put the trailer in, but they get a lot of traffic at their tent too. Last year they sold a lot of trailers because of it. So it's a win-win situation. I think Manly's going to be set up at Jack Links also, so there'll be some trailers there to look at. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah.
What's your long term, like what's your end game? What's your vision for this shoot? Like, where do you want to take this to? Like, where do you and your partners that are putting this on, where do you want to, what's your end game on it? What's your goal?
All right. So the end game is basically to establish a long running shoot at the Meadows that everybody wants to attend every year, and giving back to the shooter while we're doing that. For the longest time, the National Wild Turkey Federation shoot was at the Meadows, and it was one of the biggest shoots in the country. And when people thought about what they were going to attend during the year, that was going to be in their top 5 because it was huge.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of prizes given away. It had the good old Georgia boy atmosphere. Everybody's having a good time, laughing, cutting up. Just a good environment and a long lasting shoot where everybody wants to come to it, and everybody has a good time. That's the end goal.
Well, this purse, first of all, and the payout structure that you have automatically demands attention, right? So
yes,
that's a pretty good way to structure or build a foundation for a shoot.
Right. And there's a bunch of angles on it too. I mean, with that number of shooters, we're probably, I'm going to say, I'm just scared to say, because if it can run short or run over, but if we get 750, 800 shooters, also these people that are hunting points and that sort of thing, there's, you start shooting well in your class or whatever, you're going to build up a lot of punches, a lot of All-American points, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a reason for everybody to come, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm signed up. I'm coming. I'm going to be there. But
I got the text this morning that you signed up, so I already knew that. I got it.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so now the challenge is on you, Kevin. One that's going to be close to you. Our Dead Pair Blast is in Rocky Creek in December, so you're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come check that one out. It's not going to have the payout that you guys have, but at least we're.
I sure hope it's during the split of duck season.
December 11th and 12th.
It actually might hit during the split. I'll have to look, but that's pretty daggum close.
Yeah. Again, we don't have that kind of purse. We're doing $25 back to class, and then Cole Cushman from Gun and Trophy Insurance put some added money on top of that.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I like the back to class.
Yeah.
That works well. It makes it where you aren't going to lose. You can get hung out to dry on some of the stuff. So that brings me to what we're paying on the 50 bird subgauge stuff. Is we're doing $20 back to class on that. So
okay.
Yeah, kind of in the same lines of what you're talking about doing. So yeah.
I mean, and it's cool too because just like you, our sponsors, for this program stepped up big time for that shoot, and everybody's giving something away. So
awesome. Yeah, but, that's great.
Kevin, one of the main reasons I wanted to get you on, you and Uncle Bill have developed a new app that you're working on. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So basically, the app is called ClayMaster, and it's an all-inclusive sporting clay program that covers a bunch of different elements of the game. Okay. Anywhere from breaking down a scorecard to online coaching to, basically keeping up with your progress and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And to even get further with that, the mastermind behind it is Scott Winstead, and he knows it in and out. He's the computer guy. Me and Bill are just the puppets on the other end, but he's doing most of the work.
Well, it just so happens a little birdie gave me Scott's number. So if you want, we'll call him up real quick and let's get him on and ask him some questions.
Awesome. Let's do it.
The Dead Pair.
All right, we got him on the phone, Mr. Scott Winstead. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing real good. I'm trying to figure out how this guy I got on the other line conned you into doing some app work for him. So tell us about how did all this come about with Kevin and Bill?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting story. I, like many other people, started out doing a sporting clays thing back in early 2000. And in fact, you and I talked about this, two Ohio guys. At the time I lived in Ohio, but, being new to the game, I looked for some instructor coach support in Ohio back in the early 2000s. And without naming names, I had two different instructor coaches that, let's just say, it didn't work out. And long story short, it was pretty much all DIY for me. And I had some success, but after 3 or 4 years, like many other people, I dropped out, did the family career thing for 10 or 15 years, and then came back into sporting clays about 3 years ago, raring to go. And right now, I split time between Florida and Michigan. Where I live in Michigan, northern Michigan, I mean, although I have a local range, there's no real, what I'll call real, top quality instructor coaches nearby.
Okay.
So I waited till I came back to Florida during the winter, and I started looking up, different folks to do the instructor coach thing, and came upon Kevin. I didn't really know Kevin, but I had, I've known his reputation based on looking at the internet, some of the different forums where people are, talking about different instructor coaches. Long story short, back in, I think Kevin, 2024, he and I first linked up at the Meadows and did a lesson with him, and we just really clicked. And it's so important with a coach to get that kind of trust and the communication back and forth.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, kind of on a monthly thing. So after about the third or fourth lesson, I told Kevin, I said, "Hey, I've got this thing I've been using to track my practice sessions, and just kind of interested what you think about it." And it was a spreadsheet. So I showed him the spreadsheet, and he's looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh crap, he doesn't like this thing. But all of a sudden, he's like, "Wow, I'm pretty impressed. What do you want to do with this thing?" And I really hadn't anticipated that question. I was more of a, do you think this is something that's legitimate, whatever? So he said, "Hey, this is something I think there'd be interest within the broader sporting clays community. And if you're interested, I'm interested. Let's do something with it." So anyway, that was kind of the genesis of how this whole thing started. And then when I came back to Kevin, I'm like, "Hey, if we do this, I think instead of just doing videos, I think we need to make it a really comprehensive, all-inclusive kind of improvement program." And so anyway, that's what we started doing. And
So, yeah, that's kind of where I was headed with my next question. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but can you give us kind of like a broad overview of what all the app does?
Sure. So it really focuses on 6 key services. And when we say all-inclusive or comprehensive, first one is we get into instructional videos.
Okay.
Then we get into analytics. And analytics can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it's everything from collecting the data to analyzing it to being able to provide some level of insight into where your performance, there's potential improvement opportunities. And then also trying to track what your progress is along the way.
Okay.
And then there's the online coaching session that Kevin had mentioned. There's detailed practice drills. There's a private community forum, and there's monthly webcasts. So there's 6 services that we're trying to, make this much more comprehensive than just putting a video out there and having somebody talk to it. My background, Jason, in the corporate area was in improvement. So both as a consultant and working in various, Fortune 50 companies, that's what I did. Was I focused on supply chain improvement in these companies. And what I've seen time and time again is really, everyone has a different way they learn, a different way that they go through it. So that's why we really tried to focus on more of this comprehensive, all-inclusive program.
Okay. Kevin, when, obviously you're working back and forth with Scott to develop this thing, what were some of the features that were important to you that, that needed to be in the app?
Well, one thing that we hadn't talked about is a real important factor is including Bill McGuire, because he is a wealth of knowledge. I felt like Bill and I work good together. Scott's easy to get along with, so the trio makes a good business motto. We do well with the communication, and Bill and I, techniques on some birds aren't exactly the same, but I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing because I think that different shooters do stuff a little bit different here and there. So definitely including Bill in the whole deal is a good attribute to the deal.
Sure.
For sure. The one thing that caught me out of the gate was to be able to break down different, it breaks it down to which birds you struggle with. And at the end of the day, you may not realize that loopers are what's killing you, or raboos, or, a left or right crosser or something like that. And this program will break that down where it's going to show you, like, man, I'm really no good at that shot, and we got to improve that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's not for everybody, but the people, and I run into a lot of them, right, that really analyze stuff and get into it, and they're gonna love this. They're gonna love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
Scott, without, and I mean no offense by this, but without losing us in the weeds with all the code talk, can you give us an idea of any sort of struggles that you may have had with creating the features that Bill and Kevin wanted within the app? Like,
we're gonna need another hour. We're gonna need another hour on that.
Well, that's actually a great question. So when we started with this, like what Kevin was just talking about, it really is geared to take the 12, what I'll call the 12 common target presentations.
Mhm.
And I won't run them all through it, but quartering birds, crossers, raboos, rabbits,
Right.
yada, yada, yada. And you will get a detailed breakdown of what your performance is on each one of those target presentations.
Okay.
The challenge, of course, with doing this is, where do you get the data from, right? And I'd love to say today that, gun clubs out there are providing that, that level of detail at each station, but of course we all know that doesn't happen. So where we started with this thing was that the shooter would have to, input something, so that as part of keeping track of the score, you'd have that target presentation on your scorecard. So when Kevin and I first started going through this, he kept challenging me of, man, you got to make this super easy for, Joe Shooter out there to input this data.
Yeah.
So they're not spending more time on data capture as opposed to shooting the bird. So we went back and forth on this, tested it, came up with a bunch of different things. The good news now, we have a mobile app you run on your phone, and that's how you capture the information right at the get-go when you're on the course. So that's significantly increased the ease of use for our shooters who are doing this. And that's been one of the challenges. Like you said, Jason, it's easy to get wrapped around the axle with all the
Yeah.
techno stuff. That continues to be a challenge. But the good news is we've got a good user base that we've used for a beta test when we first put this out there to get their input. And it ranged from younger folks that maybe are a little more technical savvy versus guys my age that it's like, keep it simple for me. In fact, this analytics thing, another thing that came out of it was some guys don't want to do analytics on their own. They want it done for them. So we have that capability as well.
Well, Kevin, you being an instructor and being in the game as long as you have, where I'm going with this. Look, there's a lot of very successful, very intelligent business people in this sport, but when they come to the sport, they don't want to think, right? Like some people, they like you said, Scott, some people enjoy the analytics of it, but there's a lot of people that don't. They like the KISS method, which is keep it simple, stupid, right? So like they don't dive into the weeds on a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Kevin? I'm sure you've had students like that.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're not intelligent. They just want a simple, just give me a simple answer. So it's
right.
It's cool that you guys have thought about that, making the app, because I can see where something that gets too technical, a lot of people will turn it off.
Oh, they'll turn it off. If it gets hard the first 2 minutes, they're done with it. I'm done. So yeah.
Well, that's good of all of you to recognize that. So Scott, I'm taking it the app's going to be available for both the iPhone and Android or Google or whatever it's called.
Yep, it's available today where you can do the download from either the Google Store or the Apple Store, like you said, Jason. iPhone or Androids. Yep.
Okay. And is there a desktop version?
There is. That's
Okay.
how we started. Was really, focused on more of the laptop, desktop computer guys. So we're all squared away with that, and yeah, it's out there today. We've got a ton of stuff on this. So Kevin, he won't brag about it, but his instructional videos by each of the target presentations really came out great. And we have this new thing that we call, probably not a big surprise. We call it ClayMaster Vision, but it's more of a breakdown, a technical breakdown of what the shooter sees when the bird is in the air, given that target presentation, and then some real coach insight of how do you break that down to effectively kill that bird. Where for guys that try to do it yourself,
Yeah, that could be.
it can be really, really frustrating. And you mentioned it earlier, Jason. We're really geared for the recreational shooter, in the NSCA class, from class D to A. That's kind of our sweet spot. We'd love to have double A and master included as well, but we really wanted to break this down to where it started, which is I'm not a master class shooter. I'm a wannabe.
Yeah.
But I really struggled with trying to figure out where I was having the biggest issues in my shooting by target presentation. And then even into things like my reading target lines was pretty horrific, but I didn't have a good feel of which targets that was occurring. Was it everything? It was kind of an all or nothing deal versus breaking it down of, hey, let's focus on Raboos, for instance, and get that squared away before we move on to crossers or what have you. And, what we try to do, like most people do, is where you get the biggest gain by focusing on where you're having the biggest challenge on some of these various target presentations. And that's, in a nutshell, is how this whole program works, is trying to focus on the big stuff and getting that taken care of. And then you can start narrowing it down and seeing improvements in your game.
Yeah, well, that's well said that D through A needs the most help. Kevin, once you're in double A or master, you may need a little tiny bit of fine tuning here and there. And then it's really, really kind of lays between the ears. But A through D, obviously they need the most help in order to gain the skills to get up there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Scott, I take it this is going to be a never-ending endeavor for you because, as we all know, technology is ever-changing. So I'm sure the upkeep and maintenance and, updates and stuff will be ongoing, right?
It will. It's we've got a really aggressive plan, in terms of a long-term plan of to add more functionality to this that, quite frankly, I haven't seen it in the sporting clays community of where we can take this. So that part's really exciting. You've talked about it numerous times, Jason, on Dead Bear podcast of our sport. How do we get more people involved? How do we make it more mature so the folks that are already in it want to stay in it and, don't disappear? We're up for that challenge. We're trying to address some of those large issues. And, now with Kevin and his involvement at the Meadows, it's really a unique opportunity because we have the gun club aspect covered. We've got two, fierce competitors and, two of the top competitors / instructor coaches in the U.S. And then we got me, a guy who's trying to climb the mountain to get to master class. So we've got a lot of angles covered here in terms of where and what we need to do to improve this.
Well, just a real quick funny for you on that one. If you're trying to climb the mountain of masterclass, make sure you stop and smell plenty of flowers on the way, because it's a hotbed when you get there. It's really cool because, and I hear it all the time. Like, honest to God, I get probably an email a day from someone that lives in a remote location. And look, there's thousands of instructors across this country. I mean, if you go to a sporting clay tournament and there's 200 people signed up for the main, there's 210 instructors there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But
that's another whole podcast.
That's another whole podcast. Yeah, but no, it's really cool because a lot of these people live in remote areas where, maybe the general manager at a club might be able to help like a D class guy or a C class guy, but for the competitor, it's hard to get access to good instruction. So what you guys are doing here is really putting it in the palm of their hands. Very cool. So I want to get down to brass tacks a little bit. What does this app cost, or is there packages within the app, and what's their pricing?
Yeah, so there's we started out with 3 different kind of subscription plans, and then we got input from that beta test group I was telling you about, saying too complicated, make it easier, make it simpler. So now there's 2 subscription plans. There's a classic plan, and then what we call the pro plan. Classic plan is kind of designed around being something, gives you super value, so you get a lot for it, but it also keeps it at a pretty low price.
Okay.
$25 a month, $275 a year.
Okay.
And that gives you access to all 6 of those key services. Now, in some cases, it's more limited than, what I'll talk about in a minute with the pro plan, but it does cover all 6 key services that I mentioned. Okay. And then the pro plan is $50 a month, or, $550 a year. And that pretty much is unlimited access to all 6 key services, everything we got. It also lets you be part of the design process as we talk about new functionality that we add and so forth. We need an input group of people to make sure we're addressing our customers' needs, and we're planning to have our pro plan folks be involved in some of that decision making so they can prioritize and help shape it.
Very cool. Well, there's I feel like there's a ton more questions I want to ask, but I mean, without seeing it, I don't know yet. But it is officially out though, right? It is. It's out now.
We officially launched it about a month ago, and we started doing the social media thing, which that's a whole other that's a whole other challenge with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and that's pretty much the only 3 social media platforms that we're really working. We have not done any advertising whatsoever. We're just starting some advertising on Facebook in the next few days.
Okay.
But so far, we've had a really good response on social media, and boy, oh boy, what a steep learning curve to, I'm sure you could tell all kinds of stories about that, Jason.
Oh,
yeah. The algorithms and YouTube, the algorithm and, Meta, and addressing all the things you need to do to make sure people can see it and it gets out to the group. But, so far so good.
Awesome. Well, Scott, you know what, man? I really appreciate you joining us. I know we dialed you up last minute there, but you've given us a ton of great information. And I'm looking forward to this app. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out. Kevin, what, man, dude? I'm telling you, you just don't stop, do you? Pound Town's just always on another level, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. The only time we slow down is during duck season, but we're full bore now. We're ready to go.
Don't just during duck season. Well, Scott, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate you joining us. One last quick thing, Scott. If somebody has a technical issue or anything, is it you that they get a hold of?
We have a support line that goes directly to me.
Okay.
It's support at ClayMaster.net. And if anybody runs into any kind of a technical issue, or just, they can't figure out something, I certainly encourage them to shoot an email. I promise quick response, and we'll get on it and help them out best we can. And we're in it for people to improve their scores. And, like Kevin said earlier, with Kevin and with Bill in the background as our two instructor coaches, I mean, come on, where are you going to find that kind of that caliber of instructor coaches to help out? It really is impressive.
Right. I agree. Well, thank you again, Scott. I appreciate it. Kevin, don't go anywhere. I got a ton more questions for you outside the app. But Scott, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The Dead Pair.
Well, Kevin, this is pretty cool, man. I never don't take this wrong. I just never figured Kevin DeMichiel and an app would be in the same sentence. But
I agree. I think that comes with old age. I'm getting old now.
Yeah.
I got to get more sophisticated. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, it kind of sounds like you signed on for quite a bit with this project. I mean, are you hoping? Let me ask this: are you hoping like the success of the app will replace a little bit of lessons, or is this more of a way to enhance the lessons that you're already giving?
Yeah, I think it could possibly be a little bit of both.
Okay.
There's a lot of downtime when it's dark, so I could do a lot of the online stuff at night. When I'm sitting there watching Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it definitely added on some work. But it's like anything else. You get out of it what you put in it. So
Yeah.
I'm just ready to. You just got to keep up with the times. You got to keep up with the times. If not, you're going to get stagnant and go by the wayside.
Well, I mean, you can understand the basis of my question. I mean, if you're going to be doing a lot of online one-on-one stuff with this app, now all of a sudden it's not just the guys in Georgia that can get to you. You could be worldwide with this thing, right? Like, so
it could,
and it could be a matter of, holy crap, I can't get out and teach today because I got to sit down and do one-on-ones all day long. You know what I mean?
That's right. Well, Bill's going to have to do some of them, but yeah.
Wait. Bill's going to get on the computer? Where is it?
Hey, he already had a crash course. Scott had to go meet up with him and show him. So yeah, but he's going to need some assistance, but I think he can do it.
What is this world coming to?
I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you.
Kevin DeMichiel and Uncle Bill on technology.
Technology. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
exactly.
Man. And by the way, it's not Uncle Bill anymore. I told him after he sets targets at Ohio State and kicked my butt last year, I'm changing his name to Cousin It. So it's not Uncle Bill, it's Cousin It.
Cousin It. Yeah. I like it.
I just teasing. Bill's such a character. He's a great guy.
He is. He's a good dude.
So, Kevin, tell me a little bit more about the Meadows. Like, okay, everybody saw the social media posts back when the ownership change or management changed hands. So what is who is the general manager there, and like what's your day-to-day role there? Because I know you're more involved now.
Yeah, so basically there's 5 of us that have taken over the ownership. It's myself, Reed Maddox, Malcolm Walthall, Randy Tidwell, and Trey Graham. And pretty much my role is the guy that's on hands here every day. They are definitely active in it, and especially out of the gate. But I'm the guy that I'm the complaint department and that sort of thing, and try to keep up with everything straight and all that. And we've hired my cousin. He's basically the wrench man, target setter, can do it all. If we need to drive a dump truck, he can do it. He can do it all. And then we got a grounds crew. We've got Maggie's behind the counter. So we got a good staff here. We're doing as many improvements as we can. We've bought 30 new shooting houses that are metal covered roofs, and we're actually got a paint crew out there right now painting them. We've got 80 brand new Promatics coming in the next 3 weeks. So we're going to be able to throw a lot of different presentations. We're going to run some of our courses with 4 traps so we can give you a bunch of different pairs. Well, whatever you need to shoot, you can find it. So, just trying to, just like we talked about the shooters, trying to keep letting it grow, get better, and be the destination everybody wants to come practice at.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
I was thinking about something the other day when we had talked about scheduling for this. We've probably had you on the show a dozen times, whether it's questions for the coaches or full-blown interview, and there's one question that I've never been able to ask, just I always keep forgetting.
Okay.
How do you want to be remembered in the sport? Like, how does Kevin DeMichiel want to leave his mark on sporting clays?
That's an awesome question. I want to be remembered. I won't be remembered to everybody the same way, right? Because it doesn't matter what happens. There's different opinions. But I want everybody to feel like that I wasn't just there to pull the trigger. I want everybody to know that I love all the aspects of it, from setting the targets to pulling the trigger, competition, the whatever. I've been on just about every side of it now.
Yeah.
And, basically, he did a lot for the sport and he was a good dude. So that would make me happy. That would make me happy.
A good ambassador, right? So,
right. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That's awesome, Kevin. So, you were telling me earlier you're doing some target setting now.
Yeah. Last year, Bill and I set the targets for the Shooters Championship. And everybody, the reviews were good, everybody had a good time. So I'm setting, me and Brian will set everything for all the shoots here this year. Bill will be back for the Shooters. They're having a Grand Prix at Old Hudson. I think I'm setting the Super Sport and 5-stand at that in March. So make sure you sign up for those, the Super Sport and the 5-stand. They ought to be bad to the bone. So, actually, they always talk about a job that when you wake up, you're excited to go.
Yeah.
And I never really had that one. And, now I'm starting to get that way. Now I'm starting to wake up way before the alarm. I'm like, let's get it.
Wow.
So that's crazy, right? That's crazy. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
There's a lot of shock coming in this podcast. Okay. We got Kevin and Bill messing with technology. And now Kevin's excited about going to work. So what is happening right now?
Well, I did fall down the stairs before you called, so I may have hit my head. I'm not real sure. But, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think there's something running in the water and making Georgia.
It could be. It could be. Yeah. It could be. It's got a little odor to it. It could be. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Hey, real quick, everyone. Thank you to our sponsors, Kolar Arms. Thank you so much to the Kolar family. Fiocchi USA, Ranger. Mr. Kevin DeMichiel here is a Ranger shooter. You guys,
absolutely.
You guys carry those there at the Meadows now, Kevin?
We're going to start. We're just now getting our pro shop stuff on the inside going. We got pure gold chokes in here. Just started out getting that ready. We got some apparel with the Meadows stuff on it, but yeah, I plan on, definitely having some Ranger glasses here to sell for sure.
Cool. Atlas traps, American-made Atlas traps, Rhino chokes, gun and trophy insurance. Do you use them, Kevin?
I do not. I need to get some information on that.
I'm gonna text you a phone number when we get off here. You need to give Cole Cushman a call.
All right.
But I mean, nobody likes to talk insurance, but I'm telling you what, these guys have flipped the game when it comes to firearm insurance and trophy insurance too.
Okay.
Cool. Long range. Thank you to Mr. Neil Chadwick for supporting us. Taconic Distilleries. Kevin's got to sample a little Taconic Distilleries. I was up there for the Meadows last blast, and he got to sample some of that.
That high octane. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, that's right. You had the high octane, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Score Chaser. If you're going to go to the Shooters Championship, you're going to find it on Score Chaser. Bear Pelt, thank you very much. It's not just your vest, it's your uniform. So thank you to the folks at Bear Pelt. Odo Pro Technologies, El Jefe Energy. Kevin, you need to carry that at your club too. If you want, I can help you out with that.
Okay.
And Slick Products. Look, everybody, we tell everybody each and every week, take someone new shooting, take them to a tournament. Look, you got a guy right here on the phone with me right now. He's not just an instructor, but, he's running a gun club, putting on shoots. He would love to have you, if you're in the Georgia area, stop out, bring someone new with you. He'll help you. He'll go out there on a course and teach them how to shoot. Right, Kev?
That's right. I'm ready.
So, but take someone new shooting, take them to a tournament. Kevin, it's been awesome having you on, man. It's great to catch up with you.
Well, I appreciate everything you're doing, man. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Miss having the big man here this week, but he'll be back soon. And until next week, we cannot wait to have you all back here on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Gun and Trophy Insurance, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.